Hey, this is Cameron with iPropertyManagement.com, and today I'm going to do a review and walkthrough of Zillow's tenant screening services. Of course, you know Zillow, the site that you go to look up your dream house, to look up a beach house, but a lot of people don't know that they also offer rental listings, and of course, they're a huge resource for that online. As such, they also offer resources for landlords to post those listings, and then a lot of rental management tools so that they can screen tenants and accept payments and other things. In this review, I'm going to focus mostly on the tenant screening service, but of course, I can't totally be taken out of context from the rest of what Zillow does. So, first of all, Zillow screening services cost $35. They don't really list it in a lot of places here. In fact, I didn't realize it was $35 until I'd actually gone through the tenant screening process and I came to a screen that told me. So that can be a little tough right up front. And the reporting is a little bare boned. They provide the most basic reports and they provide them very well. But we are going to be missing some reports that other tenant screening services offer, such as income verification, terrorist checks, and checking a few other databases, but you will get the basics. So now let's do a quick little walkthrough and we can see if we think that the $35 is going to be worth it. So first of all, you'll want to come to this screen. The best way to do that is just to Google Zillow tenant screening. You can click it and come here. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to find. You'll click screen tenants and then you'll be taken to a place where you will create an account and then you will add your property. So here I am with my property. I've already put it in. This is just a random property that I chose. And you can actually scroll down here and you can either choose to send the application link or just to grab the link itself. I really like when tenant screening services offer both of these options because sometimes you want to be able to send that application link and other times you want to be able to post that link online, like on social media or something like that. So if I just grab this link, it's actually going to take me to this page. Now, you'll notice that here there's a bunch of different things to click on. It can feel a little bit daunting. Then the applicant can go ahead and click on each of these different ones to bring up the sections of the application. And it seems nice and clean, but once you go through it, it actually feels like a lot. Like for example, you click add, you fill out this information, then you click next, takes you to another page and another page and another page. I'm not going to go through all of it because it's incredibly long. And then when that's done, you have to go to the next one. You click add. There's a little introduction screen. Then you click next, 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 next. So on the kind of the negative side is that there are over 30 screens you have to go through. So your applicants may get a little frustrated and tired. They may get distracted and not finish it, or they could just leave and say it's not worth it. On the positive side, they do gather a lot of really relevant information. At IPM, we always recommend that landlords gather as much information as possible so that you can make good decisions about about the tenants you're screening, because that's the number one way that you can ensure that you'll make money for the long run is bringing in these great tenants. And some of the specifics that are really good in here without clicking through everything, they will ask you, they will ask your applicants for employment verification and contact information for their manager. It'll ask for previous landlord information, and it'll ask for personal reference information. In many other tenant screening services, you have to reach out after the fact to get that information. Here, you can just have it right up front, and then you can be able to contact those people in order to better screen your applicants. So once they've gone through and finished this and paid the $35, and by the way, other services similar to Zillow, which Zumper and Apartment.com are other services that list apartment rentals, but then also combine that with the tenant screening, they're $29 and $30, and Zillow's 35, so a little bit more expensive, but you also are able, your applicants are also able to use that same application and reports for up to 30 days with other properties. So of course that may not make a huge difference to you how much they're paying and how many other people they're applying to, but the better the user experience, the better that reflects on you, and the better Zillow is able to bring in more applicants in general to their program. Well, you can navigate back to this page and you can see we've received an application. You can click on that and you can go ahead and look through the tenant screening reports. We actually paid to have a real person screened, so we took screenshots and redacted information because a lot of it's private, but we wanted to give you a feel for exactly what their reports look like. So first of all, we come down here and we see that we get this nice graphic about the credit score, 701. This is a very experienced applicant, or very qualified applicant, I should say. And then we come down here to a financial summary. Everything's been paid on time. But I really like to look at this estimated monthly payments because using that, you can see how much debt this person owes every month. And from there, you can calculate a debt to income ratio. At IPM, we always recommend using debt to income ratio because that is just a much more accurate representation of your applicant's ability to pay their rent each month than a rent to income number. Okay, scrolling down, we'll see an account. We'll see a summary of all their open trade lines, basically who they owe money to. For example, this is a mortgage company. We can see when they open it, how much they still owe over here, and we can see how many on-time payments they've made and how many late payments they've made. Scrolling down, you can see that none of their debts have been sent to collections. These are the credit inquiries they've made, prior addresses, prior employers, and that there's been no bankruptcies. And then we get a pretty standard criminal and eviction report. They're all plain like this, where their housing court record 0, criminal record 0. There's basically nothing to show for this person. Overall, my first impression of this service is that they're backed by a trusted name. If a big brand comes out with a new product, they're usually going to have a good sense that it's going to be a well thought out and well executed product. And it's the same here with Zillow. Their tenant screening service is pretty bare bones, but the process is simple to get through. It's easy, it's intuitive, everything looks really nice. You always know where to click and where to go next. The reports, as you can see, they're not overly thorough, but it gives you all the information you need, and it's laid out in a really nice looking way that's easy to get through. I do like that applicants can reuse their applications with other landlords, other listings that can bring more applicants back into Zillow and applying to more properties. And I also like, of course, as I mentioned earlier, that the application is going to gather all the reference contact info for all the people that you would like to contact. Now, the negatives are that the application process is super lengthy, clicking through all sorts of different places. The report's a little bare boned. But one thing that frustrated me is that they advertise on their site that they have an income verification report as part of their tenant screening. I didn't see that anywhere. Um, there is a section on the application where the applicant can put in their W-2s and pay stubs and that sort of thing. And so I think that's what they're referring to with income verification, but it's all self-reported by the applicant. Every other tenant screening service I've seen that advertises an income verification report has a third-party service do it, and often the applicant will have to actually link their bank account so that you can pull in reports that the money is actually going in and out of their bank account. Overall, though, I would recommend Zillow to most landlords, especially if they want to use Zillow's listing service as well, because it's all integrated together and there's other tools that you can use. That's the end of my recommendation and walkthrough. Appreciate you listening. Have a great day.